Hello, Aquafish. I am so sorry I left you guys behind for a while. I do that sometimes. I tend to ghost some of my projects. I get extremely bored with things, especially when well, I'm just going to say I get bored easily. And so, although I am sorry for ghosting you, I will probably do it again. And so just know I'll always come back eventually. I wanted to give you guys a quick reading, see if I can get some general guidance and idea of what's going on with the energy. So we are going to get into it. Holy Spirit, what is it we need to know? We have Lover Boy, multiple lovers, unattached, and playing the field. We also have here opportunity, a new door opening, secrets revealed, freedom of choice. We have glow up on the bottom of the deck. So you may be going through some changes that are showing up physically that people are able to see. Ooh, on the other side of the deck, we have evil eye. It says negative energy, hidden enemies, toxic connections. And so some people may be sending you subliminal messaging is what I'm picking up on, either in their verbal communication, nonverbal communication. They're letting you know, signaling to you that you should feel some type of way about investing in yourself. And Spirit is wanting you to know that this is actually opening up opportunity for you. With the Lover Boy here, I feel like this could be an indication of either a love interest that could be in your energy at this time. This could be your energy if you're kind of playing the field and trying to figure out what interests you. I'm kind of picking up on that boredom vibe that I was just talking about, where we'll try this, see if it fits right, try that, see if it fits right. I know, like in school, I used to, with assigned seating, get up if something didn't feel right. If I sat down in a seat and it just felt like the vibe was off, I didn't feel safe in that spot. I don't know, there were just so many different factors that to summarize into a feeling, but it's essentially you can feel when something isn't right for you and moving on and not allowing other people's opinions to sway the matter is what I'm hearing. Can you give me some clarity on this Lover Boy card, please? Thank you. Okay, so 3 cards just came out. We had GPS, bumping heads, love spell, interesting. So I'm really feeling like you're allowing, like I said, your intuition to kind of guide you and what love feels right to you, whether this is a hobby, a job, a connection, a friendship. I'm also picking up on with love spell here. I feel like a lot of you are going through processes where you're understanding that you controlling situations or having a say, for example, on how the relationship or opportunity turns out is not in your best interest. And so I feel like a lot of you are learning to let go of control and having that faith and understanding that something better is coming along for you. With her holding on to this crystal ball, I feel like it's kind of let destiny take its course, trusting my future over my own current desires, I guess, is something that's coming through. We have shocking news here, and it almost looks like that's the same person, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know, it's just me probably wearing glasses and having her hair down. So I feel like, again, this is something about the glow up energy here, and being able to mirror back through it's kind of like, you know, when you see somebody that you're like, oh, it looks like they've had a rough life. I feel like it's the opposite for you, where you're not necessarily showing your struggles in a negative way, but what has happened to you over the years is showing up in physical attributes that are deemed as desirable, which I think is why this evil eye energy may be coming through. There's also something here about eyelashes. Oh, okay, I know what it is. So I couldn't sleep this morning and I was on TikTok just scrolling, and there was a lot of beauty content showing up on my feed this morning. And I noticed in 2 videos that there's 2 different videos, 2 different creators, all of that. Somebody was saying you need brown eyelashes, and they were talking about their lash extensions and how they were too bold for their features. And people were accepting this opinion gracefully, and they were actually grateful for it, like, thank you for doing me this favor. And I had also saw a couple videos related to You know how when they pick like your color, whether you're in autumn or a summer or whatever, like whatever colors look best for your skin and hair. And I think that there's a time and a place and a value in that. But at the same time, I'm always telling people about spells and how our words are spells, right? And how somebody can come to you and say, you look terrible in gray. I think this woman's wearing like a gray jacket. You look terrible in gray. That's not your color. And before that, you might have like loved that jacket. You're like, actually, this is one of my favorite jackets. I love gray because it's like a muted black, whatever your reasoning is. But after that person says that, every time you put on that gray jacket, you're like, maybe I do look washed out. Maybe I do look muted. And I'm always trying to tell people not to give away their power to other people's opinions, because there's always so many of them, and you really can't like, you can put something on and one person might think that you look the best and they want to replicate that and even like be inspired by your style, while another person is going to look at that same exact style and think that it's repulsive. You know what I mean? And so basing your desires and how you live your life on the opinions and biases of others, I truly feel that we're doing ourselves a disservice on a soul level, on a spiritual level, because we were given these vessels to be able to express ourselves, is one of the reasons. And so being able to show your authenticity through how you present yourself to the world is something very personal. It's something that should be treated as more sacred, something that you turn to God for and say, you know, what are the products that are going to work best with my chemistry? What colors are going to look best on me? That type of thing. I'm more so worried about like, I don't know why I said I was worried about it, but like I'm more so focusing on like the emphasis of productivity and products that work, right? And so I feel like those are the type of things that you can go to God for, and you'll start to see signs. You'll start to see recommendations. Like I can give you an example. There was this big trend, I guess, with like snail mucin that was going. I had never heard of it, never seen it or anything. But the reason why I went ahead with purchasing the product when I did see the trend hit my For You page, it had a lot to do with me seeing a sign in nature right before it happened. There was this bush filled with snails, and I was like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful, majestic bush of snails I've ever seen. And I remember it impacted me. I don't know how else to describe it other than it was like glowing, and that's how I know God is speaking to me through the cards, the symbols, the signs in nature, songs, whatever it is, it's always glowing. And so there's something here about it was glowing, the snail bush was glowing, and so I tweeted out this majestic snail bush, and then 5 minutes later I see the trend and I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And you know, honestly, like I feel like it did a lot of good for my skin. And so something like that. We also have drinking toxic lifestyle showing up here when I split the deck. So I feel like you're taking a look at some of the things that are toxic in your lifestyle and you're finding replacements for it through prayer. You're starting to pray on this and ask, you know, for intervention, and ask for, what is the word I'm looking for? Like something that you can transition to. Like, for example, if you are a heavy drinker when it comes to either soda or alcohol, I don't know why I picked up on soda with drinking, but yeah, you're making these replacements with water. You know, you're starting to see, okay, I feel better when I'm drinking more water. I'm losing weight. My skin is looking better. These are the type of changes that you're really starting to incorporate through being closer to God. Okay, so we have bad news also showing up here. I don't know what this shocking news and bad news is about, so we are going to get a little bit more information. It could have to do with the backstabbing. Maybe it has something to do with your lover, right? We have reconciliation and turning your back also in reverse, and so some of you may be considering even going back to a past lover. Okay, so let's get a little bit more information. What else can you tell me about this shocking news? Okay, so the card that came out fell on the floor. We have sunglasses, watching, looking, perception, and stalking. We also have addiction here on the back of the deck. Ooh, interesting. So underneath the addiction card was this engagement ring, and then on the other side we have hammer, and this guy is like burning a ring. He's soldering it. He's a jewelry maker. I don't know. It says sabotage and rebuild, persistent, working on it, and repairing. So there's something here about the ring. Wanting to repair some kind of commitment. But I was picking up on like even melting down this ring and making it into something else. Yeah, underneath that we had separation. And we have grounding on the other side. So you're going to feel more grounded through separation. I don't think that this is something, look at underneath that was wedding rings. I don't think that this is something that you're meant to go back to, if I'm being honest, just looking at the cards. So let's go ahead and get any more information from this that we can get. Can you give us some more information, guidance for the Aquafish, please? Okay, so the cards that just came out, we have Dream Team. It looks like a group of friends here. So you could even have friends, we got Cleanse, that are good for you, that you're being asked to kind of lean into the support system. And if you don't have this group of friends, if this betrayal came from a group of friends, or you have trouble making friends, I'm feeling like you're going to be having a community come in very soon in the near future to kind of give you that support. And so allowing the betrayals to kind of cleanse out of your energy, allowing these connections, letting go of them, and considering it a learning experience here. I'm going, and I split the deck. We have Rigidity. It says struggles with feeling of inadequacy, feeling weight of the world on their shoulders, fear of stepping outside their comfort zone, harsh self-criticism. And then on the other side of the deck, we have Positive Insights. And so I feel like you could be your own worst critic. You could be really hard on yourself. I'm getting this energy of a bit of perfectionism that comes from the criticism outside of you, that you've learned over time to kind of internalize that, to try to prevent that from reoccurring. But what's going to prevent that from reoccurring the most is having this positive insight about your own character, about your own inner beauty, and allowing that to shine through, because it's not necessarily what we see in the mirror as much as it is how we feel about ourselves. That self-love, that capacity for self-love. And the information's kind of flying through my head really quickly right now, but what I can tell you has most helped me is having this understanding that we are given this vessel, we're provided this vessel as an opportunity. We have Magical here, as an opportunity to love that vessel, to treat it as royalty, to be able to be our own self-advocate and our own best friend, our own muse is what I heard. And being able to, I heard, test your authenticity through your style, through your expression, and through your ability to remain true to yourself. Because I'm feeling with this backstabbing energy that the duality of this lesson is loving yourself, being your own best friend, creating your own magic in a void of emptiness is what I'm hearing. I'm also picking up on perspective and feeling like, how do I put this? You're feeling very in your feelings right now about your circumstances. And a lot of it is tied to perception. A lot of it is coming from a place of thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, but in actuality, you're actually right where you would be happiest if you were able to kind of shift your mind and your perspective. And I'm wondering if the shocking news is tied to that. So I'm going to pull a couple more cards and just see what comes out. I feel like some of you, we have hidden desires. There's someone else or a fantasy that's unfulfilled. Secret tented affair. I feel like a lot of you are looking to magic to be able to kind of have this sense of control over the situation or circumstances. But what Spirit is calling for you to do is be comfortable in the separation, be comfortable in releasing. I have like air that's trying to come up right now. It's getting stuck in my heart center. And so I feel this call to tell you that if you're holding on to things, resentment, sorrows, I heard grudges in your heart center that are not allowing you to see this other perspective where what has happened, this separation, this loss, this truth coming to light, it has a lot to do with you being pushed towards your hidden desires in your heart center that you're not quite aware of just yet. Whether this is taking on a different job that you didn't know that you were worthy of, that you would think of in the past and you'd be like, oh, I can never do something like that. Well, this is actually destined for you. And the disconnect is your perspective and not being able to actualize that internally. I'm also feeling like there's something here about a complete lifestyle shift. There's a completely different life that you weren't aware was available to you. You might have been told that you had to go to school and work a certain job and marry a certain type of person, or whatever it is that you were kind of programmed to be able to live your life a certain way. And this is kind of coming into a moment where it's falling apart. And that's where the glow up vibes are coming from, is the more you are open to being yourself. We have open character. There's still pages to write, so make them great. Revisit, enjoy, and keep going. Oh, we have love song under that, so there might be musical messages for you. I saw my cards shift and they separated over here. There's a deck that I wasn't working with and they separated and moved on their own. So the cards that split, it says, I am releasing my yearning to fit in, and I am releasing my judgment of others. And how interesting that these people were like, oh, you would look better in this color. And they were well intending. That like one person was like, I'm a lash tech and I do this for a living, and I'll send you the link for the brown lashes I use because they would just look better on you. And honestly, I just felt like, oh gosh, like that comes off as judgmental, because now this person's gonna go look in the mirror and they're gonna be like, wait, are my lashes harsh? Is this black too harsh against my red hair? And it's honestly a matter of preference. It really is, because beauty is heavily tied to trends and popularity, and what's popular in the beauty scene right now is not necessarily, like, for example, it's not what I like, right? I'm gonna do what I like regardless of what's trending, because trends change. And it's kind of like all of the plastic surgery that's taking place over the past few years. There were a lot of people that were like, oh, that's beautiful, I'm gonna jump on that. And now they're kind of finding that natural is coming back into what is trendy. So and if not yet, you know, you guys just wait, because this is a fortune telling reading, right? Okay, so I want to get some more messages. We got some shadow work cards over here. Thank you. We got shedding illusions. The first step is an awareness. The second step is acceptance, reality, honesty, and self-love. So I really feel like the more you guys kind of shift this inner perspective of who you are, what is beautiful, and what are you sacrificing to be able to fit in? Is it a piece of you? Is it a part of your soul? Is it something that you genuinely enjoy? Like, I can't imagine living my life without glitter just because people say it's too much, or I don't know, like, everybody has their own preferences. But for me, I was born with glitter in my heart. I need to be able to express myself with sparkle and shine. And it may come off as too much for some people. We have unseen pattern, change your thoughts, change your life, beliefs, and reprogramming. And if you're not able to have that compassion for your inner self and be like, you know what, I feel for you, I love you just as you are, you're perfect, you don't need to change anything for anybody. If you're not able to do that for yourself, try to do it for the little version of you, okay? The one that didn't deserve all of the betrayal and the criticism and not being good enough. Do it for the little you. We have obstacles, stumbling blocks to hurdles, test of faith and willpower, get perspective, and keep going. And we have fear of failure. So that's the thing, is even if people are criticizing you, even if you aren't getting the recognition that you were looking for everything that you've invested, don't allow it to destroy you. Don't allow it to kind of warp your memory or your mind or your ability to be able to see yourself in certain destinies that you know are created for you. It says, find wholeness, bring together fragments that complete you, acceptance and inner peace, not putting yourself out there. Hard to regroup and recover. Try again and find a new way. So I'm just really feeling like perspective is everything. And if you're looking at certain failures as failures or losses rather than opportunities to grow or expand, then it's going to be feeling really heavy. We have meltdowns here, fighting over money, anger issues at work, excuse me, try counseling and meditation. We also have positive change under that. So transforming pain into strength and empowering yourself, ascend with evolution. I'm really feeling like if you guys are going through money struggles and you're feeling like that's kind of leaking into other areas of your life, we're gonna find a way to separate that, because I'm feeling like I'm seeing these like butterflies down here versus the ones up here, and I'm getting like, you know, when you stamp out a hole out of paper, I don't know if I'm coming off right, but there's like these stamps that have shapes. I'm feeling like you're taking these pieces out of your life and you're acknowledging them for what they are, the transformation that they're bringing into your reality, and you're not allowing that to impose in the other areas of your life. If you have a toxic relationship and you're going through a breakup and that partner is telling you that you're a lousy partner and a lousy person, you're not going to take that into your career and your work life and be like, I'm a nothing employee because so-and-so said. You know, it's like that type of mindset where you're like going to leave it at the door. You're going to acknowledge that that part of your history needs healing and that it had a role to play in your life in some way, whether it was growing up and telling your own daughter one day, I don't know how old you are, but we can all stand to grow up no matter what age we are. We're constantly evolving and quote unquote growing up internally. And so when you grow up and you see your own daughter going through loser relationships, you know, you have this wisdom and this experience to be able to back it up, to not only have empathy for what they're going through, but also to be able to offer some guidance and some wisdom. And I think that that's the type of thing that we don't take for value for what it is. I have surprise here. It says romantic surprises are on the horizon. Be open to them. And what is he giving her? Is that a feather? I honestly don't know what's happening there, but at first I thought he was giving her a ring, but it looks like he's giving her like a feather or a flower or something. And so if you were with somebody who wasn't worth your time, for example, they gave you some shocking news, and this is something that is going to end up being a blessing in disguise. Okay, because they just weren't right for you. And I feel like with the glow up vibes here, you're going to use this pain and turn it into a catalyst for your new look, your new identity, and your new ability to be closer to who you truly are. Because a lot of us don't know. A lot of us, it's been programmed out of us through schooling, our careers, the friends around us wanting to fit in, our family kind of giving us those subliminal messages on what's acceptable and what's not. We have love, travel, humor, and vitality. I feel like you're going to be focusing on what's important in life, which is your health, the things and people you love, being able to travel. And when I say things you love, I'm not necessarily talking about possessions, because those can come and go, but our hobbies are things that, you know, give us that spark of joy inside, those things that we do that we lose track of time, right? Excuse me. There's something here about creating as well, and it could be like with my throat, it could be that you're feeling stifled a little bit, like you're not able to express yourself in some way, and how interesting that the heart center is showing up there again. I'm also feeling like some of you are understanding how this lifestyle is impacting your health. And so you're starting to kind of prioritize vitality here. Okay, so we also have renewed connections, reunion, reconciliation, intimacy, and forgiveness. Okay, and so I'm getting good vibes from this card. So if there is some kind of reconciliation in a positive way, let's take a look at that. All right, so we have Uriel, red, emotions, healing, devotion, and integrated. And she's healing her heart center. And so, I mean, honestly, some of you could be, I didn't want to say this, but I was going to say expecting an apology. And so maybe somebody did you so dirty and you had expected an apology and that apology never came. And so it really messed with your head. You really felt like, did I deserve this? Because it's really easy to go online and to see all of the trendy spiritual content that's talking about retribution and karma coming back around and balance being restored. But I can tell you from someone that has gone through an experience where I've been asked to wait an extremely long time for that. First of all, God told me it was because God likes to extend mercy to people and give them the opportunity to repent and apologize on their own without some of the harsher lessons. But also, I just feel like sometimes bad things happen to good people and we're not always able to understand it or understand why the balance that we expected to come in didn't arrive at the time that we were hoping it would. And so I'm feeling like this is one of those heavy lessons that you're being asked to walk in right now, and finding that healing within yourself and through God and being able to kind of release it to God in a sense. And I feel compelled to tell you also, if somebody comes to you with an apology for something that cannot be fixed, right? Like the damage is so deep that it impacted your life in such a way that you're like, how could I even try to begin to process a forgiveness or to accept this person's apology? And if you've already released it to God, if it was so painful for you to carry that you've already released it to God, you can tell them that you're going to pray on it. You can tell them, I feel like it doesn't make it right, your words. And so I'm going to ask you to take this message and your apology to God, because I've already released it to God. And so you need to seek forgiveness there. And it doesn't mean that you're not forgiving the situation as it happened. And you can even tell them that, like, I have forgiveness for the betrayal as far as the circumstances surrounding it. And I have forgiveness that God had even allowed that to happen or take place in my life. But as far as seeking forgiveness, like, you want me to tell you, I forgive you, it's okay, let's move on, let's repair our relationship, that's not going to happen. You're going to need to take that to God. We have 2727 on the clock. So we have also the color silver showing up here, Archangel Haniel. It says goddess, psychic, sacred, and proud. And I do know that Archangel Haniel, I actually don't know if I'm saying her name correctly, but I do know that this is the archangel that looks over, you know, clairvoyance, psychic messages, being able to provide prophecy, right? These are the gifts that are coming through with this energy. And so I feel like if you have been blessed with the insight and the behind the scenes knowing of why certain lessons are taking place in your life, to really give thanks and show appreciation for that internally. Because, and it's not to say, like, I said internally because I didn't want you guys to feel like you have to immediately go pray and thank God, you know, for all these messages. I don't want you to feel like God is viewing you as ungrateful or not doing enough. I'm feeling like it's really important for me to specify that to the watchers here that are viewing this video. But it says empowerment, transformations, protected, and preparedness, evolution. I just feel like having this appreciation and gratitude for the glow up that has occurred from some of the betrayal, or that will occur if you're not able to see it yet. We have 23 here indicating change. I just really feel like it's going to be so profound that 10 years from now, you wouldn't have changed it. You look back at this moment in time and I don't think you would have changed a thing. We have energy healing. So weird, I'm hearing Aerosmith. Don't want to fall asleep. I don't want to miss a thing. And she's got her eyes closed here. Holistic well-being, thriving and vibrant. And maybe it's because that movie takes place in like a end of the world situation. And so I feel like maybe the message here is that the world isn't ending, in a sense, as even though your heart is breaking, Yeah, because now I'm hearing that song by Nicole Kidman and Moulin Rouge where she's like, my makeup may be flaking, my inside my heart is breaking, but still the show must go on. I think that was originally a Queen song, if I'm not mistaken. But I feel like if you were to have a little bit more conversations with your spiritual team, pray about it, ask for that insight, ask if that can be revealed to you on why these lessons are taking place in your life. Again, you have travel. I'm wondering if you guys go on a trip, or if you take a vacation, or if you're physically moving to a new location, if after you move to this new location, you're going to either experience an extreme glow up in your life, a lot of opportunities coming into play, or if this is also talking about you being able to get experiences and signs on this journey that you wouldn't have been able to get just sitting at home. And so if you are feeling compelled to take a trip, go out with friends, do something different, I feel like this is going to really open your eyes, because you see how she has that walking stick with her. I feel like this is going to allow you to see things that you weren't able to see before. Okay, so any closing messages for the Opera Fish, please? Okay, so we have children here. You may be called to nurture your child or tend to your own inner child. Create opportunities focused on play. We also have master your fears. Uncover the hidden fears that are ingrained in you, holding you back from living your most authentic life. And then underneath that, we had distant future in reverse. And so you're not able to see how this is impacting your future. If you're going through a breakup right now, maybe even thinking about your future children would really help you heal in this breakup, because understanding that how that person is treating you right now is probably a direct reflection of how they would treat your children in the future. It might be enough for incentive for you to just stay away. Or if you're able to look at the fact that, let's say, somebody in the future was treating your child like that in their own grown-up relationship, like let's say your child grows up and they're dating someone just like that, that might be enough for you to be able to wrap your head around the fact of how toxic this relationship is. If you could picture your child being in that relationship, would that be okay? You know, that's something that's sometimes overlooked in the moment of a breakup. Oh my gosh, I love this. And it's ending with good news. So you guys had shocking news, bad news, or I think it was sad news, right? And then now you have good news. So the wait is nearly over. Expect to receive news to an important issue that will have a positive outcome. So for some of you, I am feeling like if you missed out on a job opportunity, for example, it's scary and it's sad at the moment because you don't understand that there's a better job coming through in the future. But I'm seeing that better opportunity coming through, and you being able to frame the experience in a new light. Someone or something in your life needs to be seen in a different light. Observe things you may have missed. I'm also feeling like pay attention to your dreams, okay? Because some of you, oh my gosh, I just split the deck. It says Angel of Dreams. Some of you are getting warnings in your dreams. For example, my husband was offered a job like a week ago, and he had the same dream 2 nights in a row and the days leading up to the job offer. And so that was an indication to him that even though we were kind of like wanting an opportunity to come in on our timeline so freaking bad, that we were like, maybe we should just take it and make it work. We're going to take that opportunity and force it to fit into our life. We're going to mold it like Play-Doh, right? And just force it to fit into this area of our life. And I'm seeing like somebody shoving Play-Doh into like a mold, but the Play-Doh is too much. It doesn't fit inside the mold. And so Spirit is saying that there is something better coming through. And so pay attention to those dreams, because my husband had a dream that he was failing a test. And so when the job offer came through, we were like, well, what is this test? What does it entail? Like, is it related to the job offer? And he was like, well, I had this feeling of dread in the pit of my stomach when I was failing this test. And when the job offer came through, I had that same feeling of dread. So go ahead and pay attention to those signs and make sure that you're not allowing fear to make these decisions for you, because you will be tempted, you will be tested, and you know, you might look back in the distant future and be like, I made this wrong turn. It cost me all this time. I had to learn this way. And instead, just being able to really trust not only that spirit is trying to send you signs and trusting those signs and that you're not alone, but also loving yourself and understanding that you are worth more than what the cheaters and the takers and the liars of the world are trying to offer you. You've always been worth more. Okay, so go ahead and show yourself that love. And remember to celebrate your successes along the way. It's really going to take the power away from all of the failures that the world is wanting you to focus on. Okay? And be watchful. It says, be on alert and aware of your surroundings. There's a red flag that you're ignoring. Allow the truth to be revealed. Allow the truth to be revealed. Allow the miracles to unfold in their own timeline. Okay? And trust. Make sure you trust. Oh yeah, under that we have no rush. Put your heart into it, but don't rush. There are valuable lessons along the way that will prepare you for your future. And then we have another 27, number 9 to close out this reading. So 999 might be significant to you guys. 27, 27, 27 may be another one that you're seeing. Okay, so I hope this message is helpful. If it is, if you guys please like this video, comment in the comment section. I would love to hear from you guys. It'll keep me from getting bored as quickly, to know that I'm not just out here talking to myself. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.